Alright everyone, today I'm going to talk about the planets and astrology. Okay, as we all know, the sun rises in the west and sets in the east. Wait. Oh. Shucks. I think it's the other way around. Oh my god. Alright guys, I'm so sorry, I failed as a value giver. I failed as a coach. I'm sorry, man. I don't think I can do this anymore. I'm out, man. I'm the worst teacher around. I'm the worst coach. I'm the worst speaker. I'm the worst presenter. Don't buy my product. I'm just shit, man. I'm just... Okay. Now, today we're going to talk about something that is very applicable to most of you out there. Alright, which is the problem of having pressure upon you. A lot of you are selling products by giving value first, but sometimes when you give value first, you are subjected to certain pressures. So in this upcoming clip, we're going to talk about those pressures and how to look at them and how to resolve these pressures in a powerful, successful manner. So please watch on. Alright, if you're not feeling it right now, trust me, you're going to feel it later on in your salesmanship journey. You're going to feel it later on in your value giving journey, because nobody that I have known who is trying to sell a product online, who is trying to give value first and then receive value later, has never suffered this problem. There's nobody who has never suffered this image pressure problem. So make sure you watch the next video to get ready, right? After all, it's free. All I need is a bit of a time, and then you will stand to benefit so much just by being able to foresee this problem first. Alright, so that's all. I'll see you inside the clip. Alright everyone, welcome back to this video series. Okay, my name is Japhet. I'm the co-founder of the Reubiks app. Alright, and today I want to talk about something that is, I would say it resonates with almost every trainer. Alright, I know I say everything that I say resonates with every trainer, but today's topic is something which you might be feeling right now, or you might feel later on in your journey as a trainer. But no matter what, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna go through this phase. You're gonna go through this phase. It's inevitable. It is unavoidable, right? And basically, this phase is where you start to think about your image. This big word right here. Alright, image. Now, this is a very short 5-letter word, but it carries so much pressure in it. And I do understand that as an educator, as a trainer, sometimes, in fact most of the time, you are very concerned about your image, right? About your branding. Because when it comes to being a trainer, your image and your branding forms part of the product. Or sometimes it is the product. So you're very concerned about your image. Almost like a celebrity, right? But in a different way. Now, why do I say in a different way? For a celebrity, their image, their branding comes more from things that are moral based or physical based. Meaning, for example, did they just cheat on their wives? You know, did they commit adultery? Did they dress in a very forlorn fashion when they go out of the house? Are they getting fatter? Are they getting thinner? Did they grow a long beard? Are they is their sense of dressing still good? You know, things like that. Physical come moral, right? For celebrities. But for trainers, our image is all those things as well, physical and moral. Because imagine if you're a top class trainer and you dress in slippers or that, you know, still does not look very good on you. Okay, but in addition to those things, we have an added source of pressure when it comes to our image. Okay, so the first one is physical. your physical image, right? The second one is your moral image. So there's a third image, there's a third aspect to this big word called image, and that is your knowledge image. Now, to most trainers, they feel a lot of pressure, especially when it comes to this one, right? Because you know that you might not be the only one who is versed in this knowledge. So you feel a lot of pressure in always maintaining the top of your game, in always maintaining and being the best at this form of knowledge that you are teaching right now. Now, and honestly, truth be told, even I have this kind of pressure. Whether it's physical, moral, knowledge, even I go through this pressure. And I'm not exactly a full-fledged trainer, right? I'm actually more of a tech guy. Okay, I'm more of a tech guy. I love tech. I manage the mobile app, things like that. I'm not even a full-fledged trainer, but I also feel this pressure, right? I do train in stocks trading and blockchain, but once the app started to take off, I took a back seat for those two things, right? Just to clarify. But like I said, even though I took a back seat in those two trainer positions, I still feel a lot of pressure for the knowledge side of the game. Now, question is, how do you mitigate this pressure? Second question, is this pressure necessary? Third question, what do you do when people start to question your level of knowledge as a trainer? What do you do, right? Do you roll over and die? Now, these are the questions that we're going to answer with today's session. So let's start with question number 1. Okay? Is it necessary to be at the top of your game in terms of the knowledge image? Now, this is a big one to answer. I've thought so long and hard about this. Okay? Now, here's the thing that I always say. No matter how clever we are, no matter how smart we are, no matter how diligent we are, no matter how hardworking we are, there will always be this thing called knowledge gaps. Okay? Now, it's not something that you can avoid. There will always be this thing called knowledge gaps. Okay? There will always be this thing called knowledge gaps. Alright? Like, for example, when I taught blockchain, sometimes there will be certain projects that I don't know about. People ask me, so how is that coin doing? How is this coin doing? How is that project doing? And I would tell them, look, I teach blockchain, but that does not mean that I know about all the projects in the world. That's like saying just because I teach stocks, I know every single stock there is to know. It's impossible. So like it or not, there will be some gaps that you will not be able to satisfy. Okay? Now, these gaps are acceptable to have. Now, I know this statement that I just said will invite a lot of controversy. There will be people from both sides arguing, so on and so forth. I know, but the fact of the matter is, no matter how good the trainer is, there will always be a knowledge gap. As long as the current knowledge that he is teaching and propagating is not wrong, it is not outdated, it is still applicable, I think it's fine. Honestly, in my very humble opinion, I've seen so many trainers come and go, I've seen so many learners come and go. I honestly, in my opinion, I feel that I know that it's fine. I know that it's fine. Okay? Because, alright, as trainers, sometimes we have limited time. And not all of us have access to a researcher or to a research center, who can constantly update us with the newest knowledge. And even if I do have access to that kind of facility, the fact of the matter is I might be too tired after a full day of trainings to actually listen to the content. That's the truth. Alright? And this knowledge gap matter especially applies to those people who are propagating knowledge, who are giving power, teaching on subjects that are more technical, like for example blockchain, okay, this particular problem especially applies to those sectors, okay, because you find it very hard to keep up with the changing state of technology all the time. It's very difficult. But if you're teaching softer subjects, like for example personal branding, sales and marketing, persuasion skills, negotiation skills, public speaking, now these skills, you may or may not feel this problem of a knowledge gap, because the knowledge, the content that is within those subjects and within those fields are more or less evergreen, right? The way to become a top speaker in the past and the way to become a top speaker right now is mostly the same. Of course, with digitalization, you have to take into account looking at the camera, eye contact of the camera is a bit different, but things like your pronunciation, the way you speak, how many seconds you pause, your filters, you know, those things are all pretty much evergreen. Okay, so that's an example for you. So this problem of a knowledge gap mostly applies to those who are teaching technical subjects. So my assurance to you, my so-called solace for you, is the fact that you do not need to be ashamed of the fact that you have a knowledge gap, because it is normal to have knowledge gap. As long as whatever you're teaching, you know that whatever you're teaching is still applicable. That's the most important thing. Your content can have gaps, but it cannot be outdated. Okay? Alright. Now, another aspect to this knowledge image matter is the fact that some trainers they feel very vulnerable to the challenges of other trainers. Alright? And when other trainers challenge them, and especially when other trainers start to ask them a question and they cannot answer, they feel very down and out about themselves. Now, here's the thing. When people ask you a question, that action of asking you a question in itself is subjective. It is not objective. Because obviously, I'm going to ask you a question which I know about, or probably I already know the answer because it's coming from a competitor, from another trainer. Okay? So, the playing field in itself is not level. It is not level already. Okay? It is not that fair, honestly speaking. Alright? So, you cannot expect to be able to perform at the same level that you do. Now, this particular situation of being questioned and being unable to answer occurs very commonly, I observed, on panels or panel interviews, right? Especially in panel interviews where they just give you a topic and the moderator refuses to let you know what are the questions that he or she will ask you. Now, obviously from the moderator's point of view, they don't want to tell you the questions because, number one, you should know your stuff. So you are an expert. You are being invited because you have content. So I don't think I need to give you the chance to prepare. If I give you the chance to prepare, I'm not being fair to the audience. Now, that is one way that moderators look at things. Another reason why they don't want to give you the questions is so that they know that your response on the panel is not scripted, because not everybody has the ability to think on their feet. Not everybody has the ability to take into account diplomatic elements, PR elements, marketing elements on stage. So they get more of a genuine response from you. So and moderators know that a good panel consists of genuine responses compared to business-driven responses. So that's why they want to make sure that your response is genuine. So they don't want to give you the questions. So as a result, some of us will go up there almost like a naked sheep, that's being shaved of all our wool. And we go up there sometimes, if it's on a good day, all the questions come out and we are able to answer them with flying colors. We go like, woohoo! I sound like an expert. I am an expert, You get even more assured that you're an expert because you managed to answer those questions even without preparing for them. But What if the opposite happens? What if you fail to answer those questions properly and succinctly? You're going to feel down and out about yourself. You're going to feel really bad about yourself. Now, at this point, I just want to tell you that you don't need to feel that bad about yourself, right? Because honestly, part of the process that makes you an expert is your willingness to prepare for content that you're about to deliver. An expert, a lot of people have this misconception that an expert should be born with knowledge. Then an expert must be ready with knowledge any time of the day. Should be ready to teach any time of the day. Now, that is not the case. Okay? Part of what makes an expert, especially if you're a power giver, meaning that your specialty is on teaching, part of that equation is preparation. Right? Let me give you a very, very simple example. Let's say you go to Starbucks right now. Okay, and you don't give the barista any equipment. You ask him to make you a cup of cappuccino right now. The barista is going to say, I need my equipment. If not, how am I going to make you your cappuccino? Same thing. You need your equipment. You need that time to prepare. That time to prepare for a trainer is our equipment. Make sense? I hope it makes sense. All right. So if they take away your so-called equipment, then how are you expected to put up a good performance? Like, how is the barista supposed to make a nice cup of coffee or cappuccino if you don't give him a barista machine? Simple as that. Alright, so with that said, I'm at 15 minutes. Alright, again, I overran, alright, for this video session. But my main point is this: if your main concern, if your huge concern is with your knowledge gap, alright, I'm telling you right now, I'm giving you permission right now to not feel bad about yourself, because part of being an expert, part of being a good propagator of knowledge, part of being a power giver is the fact that you must have time to prepare. Alright, thank you very much. My name is Japhet from Reubiks Academy. Alright, and please download the app. You can become a trainer in 10 minutes, but make sure you have the content ready. We just made the registration process seamless. With the Reubiks app, you can also easily organize online digital sessions with your students. We will automate everything from our end. Alright, thank you very much. My name is Japhet from Reubiks.